Oh boy, I guess we're gonna be on the verge of another Warner Bros. Discovery DC shakeup. What does this mean for DCEU and the Snyderverse? Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. First of all, before I get into this article that dropped from Variety today, I want to share with you what I wish and hope would happen. Basically, I hope this DCEU continues. I hope they get to make more Batman spin-offs and things like that. I hope James Gunn gets to do all the projects he wants to do. But I also want them to acknowledge and say that the Snyderverse does exist, which apparently they are going to do in the Flash movie, but I want it to actually exist, not say it exists. I want them to actually put some money into it, put it on HBO Max if you have to, Justice League 2 and 3. They could even make it a smaller budget, make it like a Mandalorian budget and make it a limited series, something like that, to finish up Zack Snyder's vision for what he wanted in that particular universe. Now that that's all clear, and that's exactly what I'm dreaming and hoping would happen, business is business and things will happen according to what Warner Bros. Discovery, the new merger, David Zaslav would actually want. Certain executives, Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada, the Warner Bros. Chief and the DC Films chief, may not last. Usually the case for merged companies and big corporations like this, there's always going to be this interim transitional phase before they actually get the people that they want to be in these companies taking over roles that Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada has. Right now, Toby Emmerich's contract is till the end of this year. Walter Hamada's contract is ending of next year. Okay, now we got that out of the way, let's get into this Variety article. Warner Bros. Discovery exploring overhaul of DC Entertainment. Now, overhaul is a huge word. It could literally mean anything. At this point, when I'm just looking at this headline, I'm like, oh my god, overhaul of DC Entertainment mean like everything? Films, TV, whatever? Or do they mean the execs, the people that are in charge of DC Entertainment? Is the overhaul with the people, or is the overhaul with the actual content? David Zaslav, the CEO of the combined companies and top leadership, have been toying with the idea of turning DC into its own solidified content vertical. Maybe it's going to be like Marvel Studios, Marvel Entertainment, where there is like a segment, a split-off niche that's actually just producing DC content left and right, under the Warner Bros. Discovery umbrella. The move would potentially affect DC feature film development in the Warner Bros. Pictures Group, streaming series at Warner Bros. Television, and the creative arm within DC proper. They're also saying this could also affect things like DC gaming as well. And that does sound like a major change. Everything is going to change. Films, TV, gaming, all of it together is going to have an overhaul. Now, is this going to be run by like Walter Hamada or David Zaslav? What's going on here? Before the merger closed, Zaslav vetted candidates with experience in creating and nurturing blockbuster intellectual property with the goal of potentially finding someone to serve as a creative and strategic czar, similar to what Marvel has in Kevin Feige. Now, the name Kevin Feige really threw everybody for a loop today. They're thinking they're probably going to find some dude who can really handle all the creatives and everything from this whole DC Entertainment. But then there's a sentence after that. One insider suggested that Zaslav was less interested in finding a creative guru and more eager to hire someone who had the type of business background needed to keep all the different factions at DC working more harmoniously. So it does look like he's not looking for a creative figure. So it's probably not going to be a director or even an artist or a writer. He's looking for a producer, an actual person who knows all the business side of things to handle this DC Entertainment while all the creatives under him are still putting out product. But isn't that kind of like what we're doing now? I mean, we've got these different directors doing their own thing. Matt Reeves got the Batman, James Gunn got his Suicide Squad content. You know, everybody is doing their own thing. Well, Discovery insiders believe that although DC has achieved cinematic success with recent films such as Aquaman and the Batman, it lacks a coherent creative and brand strategy. So this is a big one because to me, it sounds like they're not happy with the current situation. Warner Bros. Discovery is like, I don't like what you guys are doing so far. Which is different from what we thought that Ann Sarnoff had a plan. Well, she's gone. And, it doesn't look like they like this current plan so far. The other key words here are coherent creative, which means that they feel like everything is out of order. It's not coherent with each other. It almost sounds like they are, once again, chasing that MCU dream of having a shared universe and not a multiverse. Now, the other thing that gives me pause about creative coherent meaning a single universe is that because Marvel Studios themselves are making a multiverse, so wouldn't you want to follow that? Honestly, was what the Snyderverse kind of was before they changed all that. We had Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, then it would have been Zack Snyder's Justice League, then we would have had spin-offs, Cyborg, the Atom, the Batman, the Suicide Squad. All this were all interconnected. It kind of still is until, the Flash movie will make it into a multiverse. To me, this sounds like they want a fresh reboot. They don't want the controversy. They don't want the baggage. They want to create their own thing. Does that mean they're not going to restore the Snyderverse? And for the current DCEU fans, it could also mean after the end of 2023, when Walter Hamada leaves, they are not going to continue that new DCEU with Michael Keaton, Ezra Miller, Flash, all that. All done. After Aquaman 2, after Black Adam, after Shazam 2, after Batgirl, after Blue Beetle, all those projects will come out and all of that universe will end. Why don't they just shut it down now? Cancel it all if they're going to reboot. Well, money, man. They put a lot of millions and billions of dollars into these projects. They already shot it. They have all these contracts they got to fulfill. They have to get it done. They have to release it all. And there's one sentence in this article that makes me believe they are actively looking to reboot everything. Discovery believes that several top shelf characters such as Superman have been left to languish and need to be revitalized. Now, first of all, I am very happy that they see the value of Superman. Not Henry Cavill Superman, not Brandon Routh Superman, not Tyler Hoechlin Superman, Superman in general. Superman in general. I've been thinking everybody only thinks about Batman, and that may be the case. But for me, I'm hoping they're thinking about the big boy over there. I want them to make more Superman projects. I want them to make cinematic Superman projects. So I'm really happy with this line that they're looking into it. They realize that it's on a back burner all the time. It's sitting somewhere on the shelf. They need to utilize the brand of Superman and make more movies of him. Even the DC gaming department needs to make a game that is Superman. So that sentence alone, I'm pretty happy about. But the word revitalize also gives me great pause because I believe revitalize meaning the brand Superman needs to be rebooted. They need to revitalize the character, which is kind of sad because I think Henry Cavill still had a lot of life left in that character and I'm hoping that it could continue. By the way, this could also affect Tyler Hoechlin as Superman, so it could mean everything gone. Or maybe they really are planning a Man of Steel 2. Please! So what do you think about Warner Brothers' discovery on what they want to do with DC Entertainment? Do you think it's going to be a fresh reboot? Do you think they're going to continue of what they're doing now? What do you think is going to happen to the Snyderverse? Share your thoughts in the comments down below.